There are various ways, dear brothers and sisters, how we can make benefit of this word of the Lord. But I think the best way to enter into, the message of today's liturgy is recalling to mind that since 15 days after the baptism of Jesus, we have been following Jesus Christ as he began his what we call apostolic mission. A young adult of 30 years, he's now going around the cities and the villages of Galilee to do what? Exactly. To proclaim, to realize the mission he has received. And today, in the village, in the synagogue of the village Nazareth, in a certain sense, Jesus Christ not only confirms that he has been sent to realize a particular mission, but he summarizes for the people of this town. As we living in this liturgy, he is summarizing it for us. We who, like him, through baptism and confirmation, we have been anointed. And we have been given as well as Christians and disciples of Jesus Christ a mission. And we are here to ask ourselves, what mission have we received? And so this is very important to know that the mission we have received is exactly the mission that Jesus Christ in today's gospel is giving us, just to say in a very poetic and symbolical way, the main fundamental element of this mission. And so I would like to begin by going back to the gospel. As we saw, Jesus Christ went to the synagogue, and as usual, he woke up to read. And he read this beautiful passage of Isaiah, which in the prophecy of Isaiah, in the book of Isaiah, it represents the mission Isaiah received from the Lord to proclaim the good news to the people of God who were in exile. We should not forget that. Over years and years, the people of God have been exiled from the Holy Land, from the land that God promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the prophet Isaiah was sent to these people to wake them up, because they lost courage, because they thought that God had abandoned them and his project. And Isaiah was sent to renew in them and in the people of God, that fast enthusiasm that accompanied the people when they left Egypt. And Jesus Christ is taking this mission of Isaiah that was restricted to the people of Israel on him, and is his mission now not only for the people of Israel, but for the whole of humanity. And we will see why there. But it's very important we go through. I don't want to linger too much. The prophets of Isaiah, the text of Isaiah that Jesus Christ begins with, the Spirit of the Lord has been given for me. Just that Spirit. The Spirit of the Old Testament, Ruach, in Hebraic language, is the force of the Lord. And if we interpret it in the light of the first chapter of St. John, we know that the Spirit, the force of God, is the Verb, is the Word made flesh. Jesus Christ is the force of the Holy Trinity by which all things were made. It's very important to situate, even this prophecy, this text, in the context of the theology of St. John, especially actually summed up in the first chapter. This is the force of God by which everything was made and was created. But it is also the force of God by which everything was recreated, reformed. And here we can find the beautiful and most difficult letter of St. Paul to the Romans. And every time we read the Bible, we have to make all the connections to understand and appreciate the beauty and the depth of this Word of God. So we have here Isaiah, we have the Gospel of St. John, we have the letter to the Romans, where Paul says that through Jesus Christ the Word made flesh, not only the creation was renewed, but also, and you find that in chapter 8, that everyone was waiting for the liberty, for the true liberty, and that through Jesus Christ, liberty was once again a possibility reality. And all the rest of the text must be understood as this work of redemption made by Jesus Christ. He sent me to bring the good news to the poor. Who are the poor? Anawim in Hebrew, in the biblical exegesis. The Anawim were those people who were conscious that they were weak, that they were under the protection of God, that they were looking for the providence, for the divine providence, and that they were open enough to receive what God was going to give them. First and foremost, this word. To proclaim liberty to captives. We must not interpret this line in a political way. No, Jesus Christ did not necessarily came to open our prisons and to liberate the captives. This text must be interpreted first and foremost as the spiritual revolution. Jesus Christ, who is the new Adam, came to realize, because our first forefather, our first Adam, because he thought he was God, he fell into a great mystery, which meant, and which we can see and touch by our own hands, this expresses itself, this misery, in that closing the person through the sin of Adam is now inclined to close itself in itself, to look after its own and only interest, to be egoist, to dominate over others. And Jesus Christ, this is our prison. This is very important to understand. And we are living, tempted by this prison, by this wall, and those we create, we look up to separate us from others, to discriminate others, to rule over others, to be full of ourselves, thinking that we are the center of the world. And Jesus Christ, filled by the Spirit of the Lord, just came to redeem us from that. He came to make this great as Augustine says, to produce this interior revolution. And finally, he to give sight to the blind, to set free the downtrodden, to proclaim the normal year of faith,